Woo! All right, guys, welcome back here. So I'm watching VRPX, which I'm sure most of you guys are watching. It's the clear lead gapper today, the clear winner, which I love. I love when we have clear tickers that are leading the pack, I guess you can say. Anyway, let's go to the charts now. Talk about this ticker right away because there's no time to waste because it's still hot and it's still rolling. So VRPX. Somehow I wasn't able to milk this one that well. I'm up 460 on this one, and based on trading smaller size right now, I'm probably up around like 7% on the day based on my average position size on VRPX. But I gave back on BON, which was my mistake. So let's go ahead, talk about VRPX, where it can go if I'm going to keep trading it, and then we'll talk about BON very quickly, where I went wrong on that ticker, and why I stopped trading this one. So VRPX, this was a nice one. Unfortunately, my trades are not showing up. Let me see if I can refresh this. Sometimes it works if I reboot it a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I just went to my saved layout. Sometimes that works. So originally, this one popped up on the scanner while nothing else was going on. This was the first pre-market in so long. I didn't do any trades till like right up to the market open, which is rare. So this one, does this little pop here, but it consolidates. No one's really looking at VRPX at the time, up 13%. Everything was like below 20% pre-market, nothing interesting. And then it pops up here, and I placed 1,000 shares to get filled, and I want to like accumulate a little bit more, maybe do 2,000, maybe do 3,000 shares. Unfortunately, I only get 100 shares long, and this thing rips without me. I'm only long 100 shares, so instead of just chasing it, I just kind of close out to reset my mind. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that second fill, and it just keeps ripping up. I would have probably done this pullback entry if it wasn't a market open trade, because I don't like trading that move, which the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange refer to it as the opening cross. There's a few things that happen during the opening cross. We've explained in many other videos that I don't like. For example, for 2 minutes, sometimes you can, if you remove your order, it'll still get executed. So in this area, it's weird. So especially with TOS, maybe if you're using Lightspeed or something, it's a little bit better. But anyway, I didn't do that because I just wasn't very confident with TOS execution. Then we had this pop up here, and it instantly goes into a 5-minute halt, and I didn't get my entry because, again, I was kind of waiting for, I don't know, I don't like trading that first minute open, especially on TOS. If I was doing Lightspeed, maybe a little bit different, but it's kind of like a rule I have. I don't usually trade that first minute. Pops up, consolidates for a second. We technically have a 5-minute breakout and a 1-minute pullback. This could have been a good entry, but it felt a little extended, especially near the $8. I was waiting for a pullback. That never happened. And, oftentimes with breakout momentum trading, the gap and go strategy, you're not really supposed to be waiting for a pullback. So this was, sloppy trading on my end. Anyway, we eventually did have a pullback, but it didn't break out, no continuation. We had another move here, no continuation. And then let's see here. I think I tried again for this move, got a little bit of that and closed out. And this was tough. It was just constantly giving back profits, then making a little bit, giving back. Here was another move. I tried again for this move, and this is the one I actually ended up closing out on because it had 2 attempts, and I sold before that third rally. And now it's pretty much been rallying ever since, but very slow here. And I don't know, I've been kind of tripping over myself a little bit where, that first early push is gone, and I don't want to get super aggressive on a ticker that right now might start pulling back a little bit. If we see VRPX start holding around I don't know, somewhere around VWAP or even this $8 zone, which is critical. If you go here to the daily chart, you can see how important the $8 is. We had the original IPO, or unless it was a DPO, I'm not totally sure, but it looks like we opened around $8 and then sold off, maybe initially rallying a little bit before selling off. So this was an established resistance zone. We had a retest here, and a breakout. That's what makes $8 so important. And that's why I was constantly accumulating here. But the fact that we constantly had these fake outs made me a little bit less confident that we would see a move. And that's unfortunately why I missed this trade. If I held into this one, even just this whole green candle, could have walked away with another 6% or so. So even if I just held another 60 seconds, it could have been, I don't know, 7 to 1,000 to maybe even a $1,500 day, depending if I averaged into this one on the way up or not. But yeah, close, but unfortunately no real major win here today. For me, it was a bit of a scratch day, unfortunately. But VRPX, I love seeing this kind of momentum. Hopefully we're going to get some more tomorrow. We have 5 million shares outstanding. This is a 2 million float, so you get that you get that explosiveness. But ultimately, I wasn't really looking at any other stats, like I said, this week and this month and whatever going forward for at least a little bit. I'm not going to be looking at news. It was obviously hard not to notice that there was news coming out. There was an FDA response up on here. I'm not going to go through the details. But it was a biotech play, FDA news. I really do like those. Those are some of my favorite catalysts. I don't think I would have necessarily traded it any different if I studied the news. Maybe I would have even been later. It's hard to say what would have happened. All I know is that, I was a little bit too slow jumping on this one. And that's pretty much it. I gotta say, XL, I have a few alerts on this one and it keeps popping up on me. And I might look for a trade on XL. Let's see how much more it sells off. A swing trade might start accumulating this one as we start finding a little bit of a bottom, but that's besides the point. And then we have BON over here, which this, I think, this was probably the reason I didn't do so well today. Well, obviously, it, was like a lot of my profits gave back, but besides that, I think maybe it put me in a little bit of a nervous mood. Maybe that's why I didn't get more aggressive on VRPX. I don't know. Because when you're red for the day, you don't want to like all of a sudden be down 300 and then all of a sudden be down, let's say, I don't know, let's say being down 3% and all of a sudden being down 10%, which stops you out for the day. That's my max loss for the day. After that, I'm not allowed to keep trading. So I like to dig myself out of the hole, and usually the more green I am for the day, the more I'll get aggressive because I have that wiggle room, and I didn't have that today. So I think that messed me up a little bit. I traded BON when it was kind of breaking here, VWAP again. You could say this was a ranging situation. I traded a ranging pullback. I guess you could say that. To me, at the time, I was kind of viewing this more as a breakout, but yeah, that was my mistake. And then again, a ranging pullback. I guess you could say I traded and lost on this one. Luckily, I traded really small size on this second one, and I cut my losses extremely quick right in here. So the second this move didn't work out, I cut my losses. I was gonzo. Actually, wait, no, fake news. I cut my losses 74. So not at the low, but as we broke this low here at 85, I was getting out. And BON and LMFA were really the hot ones pre-market, in terms of like the only ones pre-market that looked somewhat interesting. And then SESN popped up making big moves, which was quite nice. And then VRPX obviously popped up making big moves, and these were the two winners of the day. So let's see where VRPX goes. I mean, there's a good chance I'm going to keep trading it. I figured I'll make them video now in case I don't, but I could either make a second one, or obviously in tomorrow's video we'll talk about what happens, or you guys will obviously see on Trade Journal, if you guys are following my portfolio there, what happens in the remainder of the day. But yeah, I'm going to be looking to see how it holds the high. Right now on the 5-minute chart looks pretty healthy, and if we break 10, this thing could really rip again. So I'm going to go to put an alert here at 10, and then maybe start trading this one with some new front side aggression. But right now, 10-13, let's see what happens. Maybe it's going to have another 10, 15, 20 minutes of pullback before it gets aggressive again. But really, I don't want to see it crack the $8 zone. If it cracks the $8, I don't know. I'm not too optimistic there, but let's see what happens. I'm loving the action we're seeing right now, because it has been slow. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out if you enjoyed the content. Really do appreciate it. It's easiest way to support the channel. And if you're totally new, consider subscribing. We'd love to see you in the comment section, in the Discord, overall just taking part in the community. All right, guys, till next time, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.